Our second bill on the agenda today is Representative Bowe's bill, House File 2234. Representative Bowe, would you like to move your bill?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to move House File 2234 to be laid over for inclusion.
Representative Bowe moves House File 2234 be laid over for possible inclusion. And I believe, Representative Bowe, you have an author's amendment?
I do. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I actually end up having two authors' amendment. The A2, I would like to move to get this bill in the proper shape that we'd like it to be.
Representative Bowe moves the A2. And is your oral amendment to the A2, or should we adopt the A2 first?
We can adopt the A2 first. They are separate.
Okay. Representative Bowe moves the A2 to get the bill in the shape he would like. Any discussion to the A2? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The A2 is adopted. Representative Bowe, would you care to speak to your oral amendment?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, the author's oral amendment is really a technical one, and all it seeks to do is on line 2.14, delete the term natural resources and insert the term commerce. And that just gets us lined up with the responsibilities given to the commerce folks in line 1.18.
Mr. Elef, are you tracking that for the oral amendment?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Page 2, line 14, delete natural resources and insert commerce.
Any discussion to the oral amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The oral amendment is adopted. Representative Bowe, please tell us about your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members. Thank you for considering House File 2234 this morning. I believe this is a good bill. If we hope to expand the use of EVs in our transportation sector, we will need to increase the availability of public charging stations. This bill will place charging stations where they need to be, in our hometowns, in our communities, both large and small. The money for this effort will be appropriated from the Renewable Development Account. And so, like I say, this is a good bill, and I'm excited about what it can do for us. Mr. Chair, I do have two individuals who would like to testify in support of House File 2234, if I may.
Absolutely. Representative Bowe, would you care to introduce your first testifier?
Absolutely, yes. My first testifier will be Connor J. Anderson with ChargePoint.
Mr. Anderson, welcome to the committee.
And both would like to share their screen if they may.
Absolutely.
All right. Hello. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Always have to make sure with those technical difficulties. So first, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Connor Anderson. I'm an inside sales representative for the Midwest with ChargePoint. We handle electric car charging stations for a wide variety of solutions, all the way down from home, municipalities, and fleets. And when I was first contacted by Representative Bowe for this bill, first, the excitement I had for it, there has just not been enough done by the state yet to go and introduce the adoption of fleets. And this is really going to go and help expand in a great way for the state if adopted. So can everyone see this screen here? So basically what I want to go and highlight right here is this is where Minnesota stands as far as the numbers for electric vehicles in your state. So you rank 21st in the United States for electric vehicles. As of right now, there are only roughly 27 DC fast stations, which are rapid charge stations, to accommodate everyone in Minnesota. And in general, there is roughly just a couple hundred of level 2 stations, which are slower stations. Many times you find that home and businesses to go and accommodate that. I'm not sure how many people here today drive electric vehicles personally, but just looking at this map here, if you were willing to go and drive somewhere in the state, and these were your only gas stations, would you feel comfortable getting to all areas of the state? This is something that I personally, with my EV, has had challenges with while driving cross country, just not being able to get to certain locations because of it. Recently, the MPCA has done a grant to go and add EV charging stations throughout the city, throughout the state, and it went immediately. I cannot tell you how fast I had businesses and towns reaching out to go and just add even level 2 stations, like in the fast kinds, to go and support the EV drivers in the area. And in general, ChargePoint has already worked with a large number of locations throughout Minnesota, And adding this bill will just go and increase the amount of times people can go and charge up, get EVs, and just skyrocket adoption. You've already seen 10% quarter over quarter increase in EVs, and with the amount of stations you have, it's not sustainable. So with that, I'll stop the screen share, but as you can see, if you continue this 10% trend for another couple of quarters, you'll have much more EV drivers than will be able to go and charge in at ports, and will severely go and impact the adoption from the state.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Representative Bowe, would you care to introduce your second testifier?
Yes, I would. Thank you, Mr. Chair. My second testifier is from the company EV Connect, and I have worked on this. So my second testifier is Ram Ambati Pudi, and he would like to speak with us as well in support of 2234.
Mr. Ambati Pudi, welcome to the committee.
Thank you very much, and appreciate the opportunity to address the committee. My name is Ram Ambati Pudi, and I'm a co-founder and vice president of business development at EV Connect. EV Connect is a leading electric vehicle software management platform. Oh, sorry, let me share my screen. Can everyone see the slides?
Yes.
Okay. EV Connect is a leading electric vehicle software management platform with over 8,000 charging station connectors under contract. We've been actively deploying and managing charging stations for over 10 years and have extensive experience with every customer segment, including government, public, workplace, destination, multi-unit dwellings, and fleet charging applications. This is a great time for the legislature to be considering this bill. Consumers will soon have over 50 different options of electric vehicles, including passenger cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. Major automakers such as GM have announced that 100% of their vehicles will be electric by 2035 or sooner. Minnesota currently has over 18,000 registered EVs, and that number will undoubtedly increase rapidly with more attractive and affordable vehicle choices. In addition to the vehicles themselves, deploying smart network charging infrastructure to support transportation electrification is critically important. Cities, states, utilities, and the federal government are implementing policies and providing financial support to help reduce the cost to provide electrical charging infrastructure to support the growth of EVs. Recent studies have shown that lack of EV charging infrastructure is the #1 barrier to EV adoption. This bill, which will deploy public charging infrastructure at county facilities, will directly help to alleviate range anxiety and provide access to public charging stations. Based on our experience, this will result in more EV adoption by county employees and the public at large. It is important to deploy charging stations in a manner that ensures high reliability and customer satisfaction. As a hardware-neutral platform that utilizes open standards, we believe that it creates a playing field to maximize customer choice. Our platform enables drivers to find and initiate charging sessions through our mobile app and allows facilities to manage their charging stations by setting access and pricing policies and get robust data reporting on station utilization. In closing, EV Connect strongly supports HF2234 as a way to expand the public charging infrastructure at county facilities and increase the adoption of electric vehicles. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe that completes your testifiers, Representative Bowe, so we'll go to member questions. And first we have Representative Hornstein.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Representative Bowe. I really appreciate this bill and the testifiers. I had a similar bill yesterday around EV charging stations on state highways to enhance MnDOT's capacity on that front. Of course, some charging stations were acquired under the VW settlement. But as you have pointed out, Representative Bowe, and I think the testifiers, we have a long way to go. And I think every little bit counts. So covering these county buildings will be important. And so I hope that both of our ideas here for county buildings and state MnDOT infrastructure can be advanced this year. And I just wanted to say thank you, Representative Bowe, and I appreciate the bill.
Very much. Very good. Thank you, Representative Hornstein.
Thank you, Representative Hornstein. Representative Gruenhagen.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, my question is for one of the testifiers. If my battery on my electric car is near zero, how long does it take to charge that battery up again to full capacity?
Good question. Mr. Anderson, looks like you'd like to take that.
Okay, so a lot of this is highly dependent on the actual electric car that you are using. The longest range ones being Teslas currently. If you're using a DC station, the one that I highly recommend this bill focus on, you'll go and see a full charge in around an hour and a half to 2 hours on even the largest range EV. And for some of the smaller range EVs around the 1 to 200 mile range, it could be as little as 30 minutes. Yesterday, when I was charging my car, there's a rapid charger up here. I was able to get from 50 miles to 243 in around 25 minutes. And that was using a Tesla station, but basically there are plenty of Tesla DC stations. This is to focus on everyone else and all the other EV drivers that are rapidly expanding. As the other testifier said, GM going fully electric in the next few years. They are really going to go and start taking over, and that's where we need to focus.
Less time than it might take you to go in the county office and get your passport done.
Absolutely.
Representative Gruenhagen, any follow-up?
Thank you.
Okay. Representative Swazinski.
Thank you. And then this question is to Representative Bowe. Would only counties in like Excel territory be eligible for this? And then also, obviously, we've heard some bills as far as who is actually going to pay for the electricity. Is there going to be any connection to this that the counties actually have to pay for the electricity, or the employees if they're using it on their own? And then is it a vision to just use county vehicles to plug in these things, or is this open to the public? How will that process work?
Absolutely.
Representative Bowe.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative Swede, boy, there's a bunch from there, so let's try to take them one by one, and I may have to come back for a prompt for some of those questions if I miss any. But as far as counties in the Excel service area or not, you know, I thought about that, and my thought is solar panels up on a roof, that would make sense perhaps to do it only in areas that are served by Excel. But in this case, grandpa and grandma could be Excel customers, but they're driving up north to see the grandkids. And so in that case, utilizing charging stations along the way could be serving Excel customers, even if that particular charging infrastructure is not located in an Excel service territory. So that's why it's going to be open to all 87 counties in the state of Minnesota. There was a question, I believe, about who would be paying for that. And as I recall, this effort is really going to allow the counties to make sure that they are setting up to pay for the person utilizing the charging infrastructure would be paying for that energy that is being utilized and loaded in. Did I cover what you need, Representative?
Yes, I think
Representative
what you're saying is, thank you, Mr. Chair. I think what you're saying is that the person actually plugging in would pay for it. So if the county's doing a county vehicle, they would. And then also, is there limitations on public and private space within the county? So what I'm thinking of is, let's say you've got oftentimes counties have a kind of a workshop area where they're working on vehicles, where maybe they just have some back office staff that are really allowed into maybe a gated area. And then you also have things of county courthouses, which are a very public area. Will there be differentiations with this, or will they just be allowed to kind of put in whatever they want, wherever they want, or does there at least have to be a public access? Because as you said in your bill, that, you know, if you got an Excel customer traveling to visit their in-laws someplace, that they'd be able to utilize this. Does that mean that you'll have a limitation that it can't be within gated areas for this charging? It has to be a public option.
Representative Bo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, the goal here would be to have these located in a public portion of that county government center parking lot. Now, likely during the day, this would be utilized by the public, customers coming in to utilize the government center, that sort of thing, and they would be paying for the energy through software that's part of that charging infrastructure. Now, at night, we may see the county fleet vehicles being charged, but that would mean that the county would be covering that cost, but it would be out in a public area, and that's the goal. It will not be in a gated area restricting access.
Representative Swazinski, did you have further questions?
And just in general, I think whether it's just a general comment, kind of wondering aloud, whether it's this Bow bill or whether it was your last bill for state buildings. My guess is that the federal funds that will be coming to the state, I think we're getting $2 billion, could potentially be used for this rather than using Excel ratepayers money, I think.
Well, I'll speak to at least my understanding of the federal funds. I've been looking into those in the last week, and I do believe that the 2.6 billion has to be tied to pandemic relief, with the exception of broadband, which was explicitly carved out. I do know the federal government's talking about doing some electric vehicle infrastructure build out, which I think is exciting, but I do also know that we have a long way to go, as the testifiers have pointed out, in terms of getting the build out we need. Representative Bo.
Yes, no, I would concur with your thoughts as well. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I don't see further questions. Representative Bo, any closing remarks?
No, absolutely. Mr. Chair, members, I'd like to thank my testifiers for joining us today. Thank you for hearing 2234 and considering laying over for inclusion. I believe this is a good bill, which will provide public charging station access across all 87 counties. I was pleased also to see a letter of support in the packets from Fresh Energy for House File 2234. I noticed the other day a survey from Consumer Reports that found 7 of 10 American adults with a valid driver's license are interested in purchasing a plug-in EV in the future, but charging options remain really a primary concern for those buyers. So by providing charging stations in our Minnesota government centers, we could take a giant step toward addressing those concerns. So I thank you for your consideration today.
Thank you, Representative Bo. Representative Bo renews his motion that House File 2234 as amended be laid over, and the bill is laid over.
Thank you.